The kitchen smelled of burned coffee and panic. Lena stared at the small recorder, its red light blinking. Nam sat across the table, calm but alert. "They think you'll give up again," he said. His voice carried a quiet kind of fire. She wanted to scream, to throw something to undo years. Instead, she sat straighter. Her fingers still trembled, but her eyes didn't. "They won't stop until I stop them." Nam nodded once. "Then we'll make them stop on their own." He slid a notebook across the table. "Let's document everything, every word, every lie." Lena blinked, unsure whether to cry or laugh. "I don't even know where to start." "Start with truth," he said. That night, she couldn't sleep. Her mind replayed the voices from the recording. Her mother's sweet cruelty. Her father's approval. Her sister's entitlement, dripping with envy. The next morning, she opened the curtains wide. Light filled the room like a challenge. She called Mai, her oldest friend. "Can you come over?" Mai arrived with 2 coffees and one burning question. What did they do this time? Lena played the recording. By the end, Mai's hands shook. "They plan to replace you, at your own wedding." Lena nodded. "They've been replacing me my whole life." TU letter 1EA5N. Nam's friend from work joined that evening. He was tall, quiet, and carried an air of control. "I handle event security," he said. "We can monitor everything, discreetly." Nam smiled faintly. "Then we'll treat this wedding like an operation." Lena laughed for the first time that day. The sound felt foreign. TU letter 1EA5N unfolded a map of the hotel. He circled entrances and exits. "We'll install cameras here and here," he said. Mai opened her laptop. "I'll collect every message from them, every lie." Nam leaned forward. "Let them think we're still playing along." The plan grew between them like wildfire. Each word pushed back against decades of silence. That night, Lena wrote in her journal, "I am not their shadow anymore." She slept with the recorder beside her. In her dream, her younger self stood in the dark. The child looked up, finally smiling. The next day, her phone buzzed. A message from her mother. "Your sister will help with the dresses. Be kind." Lena smiled without warmth. "Of course, Mom. Whatever makes her happy." Nam read over her shoulder. "Perfect. Keep them comfortable." He placed a gentle hand on her back. "You're doing more than defending yourself," he said. "You're rewriting the rules." That evening, they turned the spare bedroom into a war room. Post-it notes lined the walls. Names, dates, costs, lies. Mai scribbled timelines. TU letter 1EA5 and checked security schedules. Nam arranged files, precise and patient. Lena watched them all and felt something new. Not fear. Not guilt. Power. "This time," she whispered, "I decide how the story ends." Outside, thunder rolled across the city. Inside, a new kind of silence began, steady, deliberate, unstoppable. The morning arrived, with messages from her mother. Long paragraphs about venues, colors, and family harmony. Lena scrolled in silence. Every word dripped with control disguised as love. "They booked the royal garden," she said. Nam looked up from his laptop. "That's 3 times the cost of what we planned." She nodded, eyes tired. "And I'm supposed to sign everything today." Mai joined their call, voice sharp with disbelief. "They're taking over your wedding." "They think it's theirs," Lena said softly. That afternoon, she drove to her parents' house. The same smell of jasmine and guilt hung in the air. Her father smiled too widely. "Sweetheart, we've already spoken to the manager." Her mother touched her hand, falsely tender. "It's better this way, dear. Less stress for you." Lena forced a smile. "Of course, Mom. I trust your taste." Her sister, Lynn, entered in a cloud of perfume. "Oh, I found a dress designer you'll love." She flashed her phone. Photos of pure white gowns filled the screen. Her heart clenched, but her face stayed calm. "They're beautiful," she said evenly. Lynn smirked, satisfied. Back in the car, Lena's hands shook on the wheel. Nam's voice through the speaker steadied her. "Don't react. Let them build the trap." That night, their war room glowed with light. TU letter 1EA5 and marked the calendar on the wall. 2 months until the ceremony. Mai organized the evidence folder by date. Every receipt, every message, every recording. Lena added screenshots of Lynn's taunting texts. 10 photos of white dresses. Each caption crueler than the last. Nam pinned the wedding layout beside them. "This is their stage," he said. "But we'll control the spotlight." Lena stared at the wall of proof. It looked like a crime scene. And in a way, it was. The next morning, her father called again. "We upgraded your flowers to roses. Lynn adores roses." Her throat tightened. She remembered the tulips she'd requested. "Thank you, Dad," she said softly. Mai texted seconds later. "They're trying to erase you from your own story." "I know," Lena replied. "But we're still writing the ending." That evening, Nam met her parents for dinner. He wore his calmest smile. Her mother talked endlessly about decorations. Her father boasted about paying every bill. Nam listened, nodding, recording. When he returned, his expression was hard steel. "They believe I'm on their side," he said. "Perfect," Lena whispered. Days turned into weeks. Each family call, each fake suggestion added another brick. By the 3rd week, Lynn posted photos online. Trying on another bridal gown. Caption, "Preparing for my sister's big day." The comments flooded with praise. Lena's heart pounded, but she didn't reply. Instead, she printed the post and pinned it up. Nam squeezed her shoulder. "You're stronger than they remember." "I've had practice," she said quietly. Her reflection in the window didn't flinch anymore. The little girl who used to disappear was gone. Now stood a woman, waiting for her moment to strike. The night before the wedding came faster than expected. Lena sat by the window, watching the city lights blur. Rain tapped softly against the glass. Her dress hung beside the bed, untouched, perfect. She hadn't slept properly in days. The war room downstairs glowed with quiet determination. Mai and TU letter 1EA5 and argued over last details. Nam reviewed the guest list, voice steady. Lena traced a photo on her desk. A little girl with missing teeth and empty eyes. The cake in front of her had another name. She whispered, "Tomorrow we stop this." Her heart trembled, but not from fear. From something sharper, heavier, final. Nam appeared in the doorway. "You should rest," he said gently. She shook her head. "If I close my eyes, I'll see them winning." He crossed the room and sat beside her. "They won't win," he said simply. She leaned into his shoulder, drawing quiet strength. Downstairs, the printer hummed with final documents. Evidence sealed, timestamps aligned, cameras charged. Mai poured coffee and muttered, "War day." TU letter 1EA5 and smirked without humor. "At least we have the high ground." Midnight struck, marking the shift from planning to fate. Lena finally stood, stretching her stiff limbs. Her reflection stared back, unrecognizable. No more trembling lips, no more swallowed apologies. "Whatever happens," she said, "we finish this clean." Nam kissed her forehead. "I'll be there before anyone else." She nodded, a silent agreement heavier than vows. Hours later, dawn began to glow pale and gold. Lena showered in silence, letting the water erase years. Each drop washed away another apology. When she stepped out, her eyes were clear. Mai helped her with makeup, careful and quiet. "You sure you can face them?" she whispered. "I've been facing them all my life," Lena said. Outside, thunder rolled again. The sky matched her pulse, tight, electric, alive. TU letter 1EA5 and checked his earpiece, giving a short nod. All guards in position. East entrance watched. Nam's message flashed on her phone. Smile. Today they see the real you. She took a deep breath, steadying herself. Her mother's text arrived minutes later. Lynn will enter before you. Tradition matters, dear. Lena didn't reply. She deleted the message and powered off her phone. The act felt like cutting a cord. Her stomach twisted, but resolve held firm. Mai handed her the veil. Once this starts, there's no turning back. There's nothing left to turn to, Lena replied. They packed the car in silence. White fabric folded like armor. Evidence boxes labeled and ready. TU letter 1EA5N locked the door behind them. The city still slept, unaware of the storm coming. Lena looked out the window as they drove. Memories flickered past like streetlights. Every stolen moment, every betrayal, every silence. By the time they reached the venue, she no longer shook. The fear had burned away, leaving only clarity. She smiled faintly. Let them think I'm still their quiet girl, she murmured. Her hands tightened around her bouquet. Tomorrow, they'll finally learn who I've become. The morning broke with silver light and quiet tension. The hotel buzzed with muted footsteps and floral perfume. Lena sat before the mirror, her heart beat too loud. Mai adjusted her veil with trembling fingers. TU letter 1EA5, NS voice came through the earpiece. All positions secure. The east entrance is covered. Nam's text followed seconds later. She's on her way. Stay calm. Lena inhaled slowly, counting the beats. Outside, car doors slammed. Voices rose. Then Lynn's shrill laughter sliced through the air. Lena closed her eyes, bracing. Her mother's tone echoed down the hallway. Hurry, darling, they're waiting for you. Mai froze mid-motion. She actually wore it. Lena nodded, lips pressed tight. A knock rattled the door. A staff member whispered, "There's another bride outside." Perfect, Lena murmured. TU letter 1EA5, NS voice cut through static. Security engaging, cameras rolling. The chaos started in the lobby. Guests turned, gasping as Lynn entered in full white satin. A train of lace spilled across the marble floor. Flash bulbs burst. Her mother stood beside her, chin high with pride. This is family tradition, she snapped at the guards. TU letter 1EA5 and kept his voice calm. Only one bride allowed, ma'am. Guests whispered, confused, curious, scandalized. Lena listened from upstairs, heart steady. The trap had sprung exactly as planned. Mai peered through the door crack. She's screaming now, she reported softly. Good, Lena said. Let everyone see. Downstairs, her father appeared red-faced and furious. Let my daughter in. You're ruining everything. Which one, sir? TU letter 1EA5N asked. Laughter rippled through the crowd. The tension fractured into disbelief. Phones lifted. Videos began. The perfect family mask began to crack. Lena rose, veil shimmering in the light. Mai straightened her train, whispering, "It's time." The elevator doors opened to a corridor of murmurs. She stepped out like walking into history rewritten. Her mother turned at the sound of her heels. For a heartbeat, silence swallowed everything. Then the murmuring began again, louder, sharper. Two brides, one truth. Lena passed her family without a glance. Her father reached out, desperate. Lena, wait, she's just emotional. Lena's voice was soft but unyielding. Then she should stay outside until she calms down. Her mother's face blanched. This is humiliation, she hissed. No, Lena said. This is clarity. Nam appeared at the end of the aisle, waiting. Their eyes met, and everything else dissolved. He extended his hand. Ready? He asked quietly. She smiled, more than ever. As they walked, the crowd erupted in whispers. Behind them, Lynn's cries echoed, sharp and breaking. Her father tried to pull free from the guests, holding him back. Cameras captured every second. The ceremony began under a light, so pure it almost hurt. Lena's voice didn't shake when she said her vows. Every word felt like reclamation. When the officiant pronounced them married, applause rose. And outside, her family's empire of lies finally collapsed under its own weight. The ceremony ended, but the silence carried weight. Lena stood in the reception hall, light scattering off crystal. Nam's hand found hers beneath the table. "It's time," he whispered. She nodded once. He connected his phone to the sound system. A single click echoed through the room. Then her mother's voice filled the air. "Of course Lynn will wear white. Lena always shares." Gasps rippled across the tables. Her father's voice followed, smug and certain. "No one will question it if we handle it right." Then Lynn's laughter, high and cruel. "I deserve it more. I'm the real bride." The hall froze in disbelief. Glasses halted midair. Every guest turned toward the stunned family. Lena didn't move. She let the words speak for themselves. Her mother stood, pale and shaking. "This is private," she stammered. "Not anymore," Lena said quietly. Aunt Hoa rose from her chair. "You've been doing this for years." Uncle Bin slammed his glass on the table. "Always stealing that girl's life." The murmur swelled into a wave of outrage. Nam muted the recording and stepped aside. Lena lifted her champagne glass. "To family," she said evenly. "Not the one that uses you, the one that stands beside you." Applause broke through the tension. It grew louder, stronger, cleansing. Her mother's lips trembled. "Lena, please, you're humiliating us." "No," Lena replied. "You did that yourselves." Outside the glass doors, Lynn's sobs pierced the air. Security held the line as cameras flashed. The press of phones recorded every tear. Inside, calm settled over the tables. Mai leaned close, whispering, "They'll never recover from this." "They don't need to," Lena said. "I do." Her father stormed toward her, face red. "You ungrateful child, after all we paid." She turned to him, eyes unflinching. "You paid to control me, not anymore." He faltered, words dying in his throat. Nam stepped forward, hand protective at her back. The crowd watched, silent and spellbound. Aunt Hoa crossed her arms. "You should be ashamed," she told him. Her father lowered his gaze, the room spinning around him. Lena exhaled slowly, feeling years dissolve. Every breath felt like ownership returned. Nam leaned in close. "They're exposed, completely." Lena smiled faintly. "Then let them see what they built." Mai handed her phone to the DJ. "Play it again," Lena said. The recording looped once more. The laughter, the plotting, the arrogance. It sounded smaller now, pathetic. Guests whispered words like justice, truth, courage. Cameras clicked like applause. Her grandmother stood, eyes wet but proud. "My sweet girl," she said softly, "you finally stood tall." Lena felt her throat tighten. This was the moment she had dreamed of. Not revenge, but release. When the song began again, Nam raised his glass. "To new beginnings," he said. Lena met his eyes, steady, clear. "To the end of pretending," she answered. They drank as her family's empire of lies burned quietly in the background. 3 days after the wedding, the world felt lighter. Lena and Nam packed their bags for Spain. No calls, no chaos, no guilt. The plane lifted into a sunrise that looked like forgiveness. Lena watched the clouds and exhaled everything she'd carried. For the first time, her reflection didn't look like a shadow. In Madrid, they walked hand in hand through quiet streets. Nam bought her coffee that tasted like calm. They didn't talk about the past, not once. It was over, and silence felt sacred. At night, she wrote in her journal, "I didn't win, I freed myself." A week passed like a dream with no ghosts. By the 3rd week, laughter returned naturally. She almost forgot the sound of her mother's voice. When they flew home, her phone stayed off. Back in their kitchen, sunlight streamed across the table. Nam handed her a cup of café con leche. To new rituals, he said softly. She smiled, feeling peace sink deep into her bones. When she finally turned on her phone, it didn't hurt. Messages from relatives filled the screen. Aunt Hoa sent photos of her garden. Uncle Bin wrote, "Proud of you, kid." Her grandmother's letter waited in the mailbox. Lena unfolded it carefully, hands trembling. "My sweet girl, the lake house is yours." She read the final line aloud. "You deserved better always." Tears came, but not from pain. They came from something clean and full. Nam pulled her close, whispering, "See, you changed everything." A notification buzzed. Lynn's new engagement post. White dress again, smiling again, pretending again. Lena laughed quietly. "Some stories never evolve," she said. Nam grinned, but ours did. He created a folder on his phone titled Toxic Family. "Evidence for the restraining order," he joked. Lena chuckled. "Documentation of freedom." They clinked cups and sipped. Days turned to ordinary routines. Work meetings, walks by the river, dinner with friends. At a weekend gathering, Mai raised her glass. To chosen family, she toasted. Everyone echoed the words like a prayer. Later, Jennifer, a cousin. The days after the wedding felt unreal. Lena and Nam escaped to Spain, leaving the noise behind. For the first time, her phone stayed silent. No guilt, no manipulation, no demands disguised as care. They walked by the sea and breathed freely. Every sunrise felt like a new beginning. When they returned home, messages flooded in. Not from her parents, but from relatives offering support. Her grandmother's letter arrived last. Inside was a key and a note. For the lake house, it read, "The place where you were truly yourself." Lena cried softly, not from pain but peace. Nam wrapped an arm around her shoulders. "You see, you never needed their approval." She nodded, smiling through tears. Lynn's new engagement post surfaced a week later. Another white dress, another caption about destiny. Lena felt nothing but quiet pity. Mike called that night, laughing. "Your story is helping others," she said. Lena had joined a support group for survivors of family control. She shared her truth and watched others find courage. Freedom didn't roar, it whispered. It lived in calm mornings and quiet confidence. One afternoon, she met her mother at the market. The older woman reached out, eyes pleading. "Lena, please, we can fix this." Lena smiled, gentle but firm. "I'm not available for that anymore." She walked away, heart steady. That night, Nam gave her a small box. Inside was a gold key on a thin chain. "You always had the key," he said. "I just reminded you how to use it." She wore it every day afterward. It rested against her heartbeat like a promise. A year later, their hallway held 2 frames. One showed their wedding photo, laughter, light, and chosen family. The other displayed Lynn's bitter message. "You'll regret choosing him over your real family." Lena looked at it every morning, then turned away smiling. The past no longer chained her. It was proof of how far she had come. Nam joined her by the door, keys in hand. "Ready for another day?" he asked. "Always," she said. They stepped into the sunlight together. Freedom wasn't the absence of pain. It was knowing no one could steal her joy again. And for Lena, that was the truest revenge of all.